Mad, sick, Reggaeville.
Reggaeville Massive, this is Munchy in Kingston, Jamaica, and today it is my pleasure and my honor to be with one of the great producers of reggae and dancehall music. It is King Jammy. I'm guest at his studio, as you can see in the background, just a part of the musical history displayed right here. And King Jammy, how are you feeling today?
Well, I'm feeling great, Munchy, having you here to interview me. Good.
Thank you. It is my pleasure, as I said. Your musical history started long ago in the 60s when you built amplifiers and you started your sound system. What caused the interest in music for you in the first place?
Well, because I was with King Tubby's building amplifiers, and then he moved on to building his recording studio. So I got interested, and furthermore, you know, all of my friends who I was liming out with, Bunny Lee, Nine and Scratch Perry, they were big producers. So he just invited me to do production also.
Okay. So, but it was a passion in the first place. How did it lead to being really the profession that it is now, and to to all of the studio that it involved?
Well, as you know, sound system, involved music. Yeah. And then from the sound system music now to the studio, I began loving it more and more, and because I was doing the mixing first, engineering at King Tubby's, and then Bunny Lee, started to boost me and said, I can start producing now because I know the work good, so it's best if I do some dub albums and things like that. So I started, producing. He encouraged me.
In 1976, that was when you established your first own studio in Waterhouse. Is it the same place that we're sitting at right now? Or?
Yeah, it was in 1976 I had my own studio. It was 1980 I had my own studio.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, it was the same place where you're sitting now.
Okay.
This is just the office now, renovated places. But the studio was over there, and it was a small one-room studio, and then, I started to doing cassette recordings and selling to the minivans on the road, and then I started producing, and, there goes all the hits, hits after hits,
So what was the first equipment that you actually started with in the studio?
Well, over there, I started with a Fairchild, mixing board and a Logic 7 two-track recorder and some other outboard equipments, which I don't really remember the names now. But I started local, and then I developed. I add more and more each time.
So as far as I'm concerned, you also lived in this place that we're sitting in right now, right? And I think one of the studios was a former bedroom and stuff like that. So
Yes, yes. Yeah, I actually was living here on the premises, and the back room where the studio was, that was my bedroom, and I just changed over to another room and turned that into a studio, just a makeshift studio. And then that's where most of the hits in the 80s were made. All of them hit songs in the 80s were made in that studio.
And speaking of the 80s, one of the milestones of your career was 1985 when the Slang 10 Riddim was built. Can you still recall when you were in the studio and how you actually built it?
Yeah, of course. It wasn't in the studio that we discovered it. We discovered it on the tree in the yard there, Wayne Smith and Noel Davey found the rhythm. But at the time when they found the rhythm, I was in England. So when I came back now, they started to look for the rhythm to play it for me, and they couldn't find it back. They eventually found it back, but it was going like haywire, mad. So I had to slow down the rhythm, the tempo, and add the rhythm and the rest of percussion and everything to it. And we went right in the studio and recorded at the same time, so that we didn't lose it again.
Yes, exactly. Was it for you already the feel of, okay, digital productions is the way to go forward, or was it really just a momentary feel that you went with?
Well, it was a momentary feel because we just was experimenting, We didn't know which way we were going to go, if acoustic or digital, but digital was an easier way to experiment with. You didn't have to go and string up in a big drum and all that thing, just an ordinary keyboard and a drum machine. So we did an experiment, and it worked, and the people accepted it. They wanted a change that was a new sound, and they accepted it, and it was a hit. It is a hit.
Yes,
Still a hit. Yeah.
Would you say digital productions is your passion, or because there are people out there that say, I stick to the analog and what have you, or what is the most fascinating thing for you in nowadays productions that you enjoy the most, effects or compression or what have you?
Well, music and all is my passion, you know what I mean? Whichever way it comes. If I'm here and there's a musician that does digital here, we just can build a rhythm digitally and it sounds like acoustic. You know, I'm so experienced in it right now that, you know, I'm mastering it. I mastered it. So it doesn't matter which way it comes. But right now I'm doing some acoustic work and I'm also doing some digital work. Yeah.
And you have, along the way, worked with so many artists. The list goes on. Johnny Clark, Johnny Osborne, you name them, Wayne Smith, everybody. Of course, we can't capture the whole of them, but would you say there is one that you personally, just from that you enjoyed listening the most, not from the professional aspect of it, but for you as a private man, where you say when you go home, you just turn on this tape of a certain artist?
Well, to tell the truth, I enjoyed working with all of the artists, but there are certain artists that, you know, you just pick them out different from the rest. Like Johnny Osborne and Admiral Bailey, even Frankie Paul, you know, good vocalists and good DJ style. You know, those are even Ninja Man. Ninja Man was a favorite of mine, you know what I mean? All of them are good DJs, you know, but, you know, you must have somebody who you enjoy working with, you know. And I think the one I would pick is Johnny Osborne. Johnny Osborne is really the man that would sit in relentlessly and work it out until we get it done.
Nice. And you are still working, even after all these years. You're still running the sound system, even internationally, traveling with it and stringing up sound and stuff, and also still working in the studio. You ever thought about, well, can retire now or so?
Well, the day I retire, you know, probably that's the day I will just finish with it. And I don't see it happening for now because I'm feeling good, I'm feeling healthy, and, you know, that's my passion, you know, music and working hard just to get things done the right way is just what I enjoy doing.
So what do you prefer, the sound system or the studio work?
Well, the sound system is really my passion, you know, but you see, doing music, like, you know, when you get a reward when you make a hit song, you know, it's like you feel good, you know, to hear it playing all over the world and people enjoying themselves and things like that. So, you know, sound system is really what I love. That was my first love. But both of them, I have to say they are equal because, you know, they're all music. Yeah.
And you have your sons that also carrying on the legacy, all of them. How did you tell them, yeah, come and work with me in the studio, or was it their decision, or what happened?
No, it was their decision because they're born and grew up in the music thing, you know. So, I mean, you know, it's in their blood, you know. Yeah. All of them are, you know, musicians, engineers, and producers. Yeah. You know, I can't take that away from them.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So this is really, now it is a family business.
Real family affair.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. And I heard that after this interview, you'll be going on to work again, right? So what are you working on recently, and what kind of people expect from King Jammys coming up?
Well, Alba Rose, as you know, international artist, you know. Well, we have just done a dub album, you know, that will be released in sometime this year. And we're now having the making now Alba Rose, King Jammys and Friends. You know, yes, what really happened is that most of my hit songs of the past with those famous artists like Dennis Brown, you know, Frankie Paul, Gregory Isaacs, and all of those hit songs that we have. He's going to be collaborating with those artists and overdubbing the rhythms, and, you know, we're making a good production, and we're going to be putting out that album later on this year.
So it's really a lot that we can look forward to.
And I also have another album coming out that I'm working on now. I had this album years ago. It was produced in 1977 with Black Guru, and I'm combining other artists with Black Guru, like Gentleman, Damian Marley will be on it too, Chronix will be on it, Jack Cure will be on it, Albert Rose will be on it, and a lot more artists, you know. So we're just bringing back those memorable music together and re-releasing them.
Wow, it sounds really exciting, so must be looking forward to that. All right, King Jammy, I thank you so much for giving us just a slight overview of your great musical history. Thanks for having us here in your studio. I wish you all the best for the future to come, health and strength, and much love every time.
And you're welcome every time, Munchy. And don't forget, you know, King Jammys is on tour in Europe every summer, you know. We're doing the festival circuit. We're doing live mixing because we have our multi-track recordings and we take them out and we mix them live to the crowd. Just show them what we do in the studio. Overdub, dub and everything.
You're going to bring Jam too?
Jam too and myself.
All right.
Yes.
So we're going to link up over there.
Yeah, man, we'll link up in Europe.
All right.
Respect, Munchy. Big up.
Mad, sick, Reggaeville.